Welcome back. Continuing the news to part 2 now of a TVJ investigation into mandatory evacuation. In part 1 of our special report, some residents in low-lying areas say they would be unwilling to leave if such a law comes into effect. But why? And are they justified in their reluctance? TVJ's Giovanni Dennis reports.
The dangers are well known. So why, in the face of a life-threatening storm, would some people refuse evacuation?
Most people think to themselves that their homes are well secure and they don't want to leave. Maybe possession, maybe the place where they are taking them to is not that properly sanitized.
The thing is this, no crime not there. If we go town or pay thief over town, we don't have nothing to do over town. We could all dead fear when we go over town. We know we're not dead fear over here.
Others consider the safety of assets.
That's how my mother did stay to, She died 2 years ago. She wouldn't move. All when days my Mackenzie said she have to move. She said she's not moving because she's safe where she is. And if she leave and go anywhere else, problem.
Some of them want to witness it for sometime place mash down things and wash away, them take it.
A lot of times people are moving on because of the assets they have. Because when they come back to their yard, nothing left there. TV gone, this gone.
But Dr. Paris Leo Ayi feels that line of thinking is selfish.
You're going to be putting the military at risk. You're going to be putting fire, health people at risk. You're going to try to save you. And these guys are avowed to save lives. And if you're bawling for help, nobody's going to want to ignore you. But you should have known better. And you do know better.
But Dr. Barbara Carby argues some families have to consider vulnerable relatives.
Persons who are elderly, ill, who have medical equipment, all of these persons will need to evacuate under a mandatory order. So the government has to ensure that it puts certain resources and plans in place to support a mandatory evacuation. In
fact, research funded by the U.S. National Institute of Aging found a 3.9% increase in deaths at 90 days for residents with severe dementia who evacuated for Hurricane Gustav relative to the 2 years before the storm. Researchers concluded that there are deleterious effects of evacuation on residents with severe dementia.
If you take me out of my house under force and something happens to me on my way to wherever you're taking me, or something happens to me at the shelter that you have put me at, what then is the liability of the government?
Though Jamaica has no data on the impact of evacuations on bedridden and other vulnerable groups, she suspects there are similarities with the U.S. findings. Although endorsing mandatory evacuation, Dr. Leo Ayi acknowledges fundamental human rights.
We have to remember this is a democratic country. People are allowed to make stupid choices.
As she held my hand before going off to work, 86-year-old Phyllis Ferguson shared this suggestion.
Trust the people who are speaking to us. The people who knows, understand, and give us counsel. We should trust them.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness urging cooperation.
If it is required by the government that you evacuate, then it is in everyone's interest, especially in your own interest, that you evacuate.
It's a bright sunny day as I walk along the shores of the Port Royal Beach in Kingston, listening to the sounds of the Caribbean Sea sing behind me. But it's a dangerous dilemma that the government faces between respecting citizens' freedom of choice and carrying out its obligation to protect citizens from themselves if necessary. Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.